Today there was a duel, Obama versus Cheney. Uh, Obama defending his decision to close Guantanamo Bay. Cheney defending his decisions to torture, which is practically what he was doing. One point about that, uh, Dick Cheney is actually defending the policies that the Bush administration stopped after 2005. So I guess, yeah, so some of the members in the Bush administration also never agreed with him. So that's a point you have to consider as well. But I don't know why he's coming out and saying, this young guy is putting an end to it. All Obama said was, no president can do this. But the Bush administration already stopped using this. But listen to this interview where Anderson interviews Liz Cheney, Cheney's daughter, and it made some excellent points which I liked. I don't know about you guys whether you're gonna like these points, but put your comments down there, and if you like any of these, uh, comment. But listen to that interview.
Influential people. Anderson Cooper, CNN Monday night, 8 Eastern.
Most former vice presidents walk off the public stage quietly, at least for a while, but not Dick Cheney. His tough talk seems to be working for him. His approval rating now 37%, has jumped 8 points since leaving office in January.
Do you think so?
Bush's approval rating has risen 6 points to 41% from 35. Dick Cheney's daughter Liz served in the State Department during the Bush administration, has been an outspoken defender of her father's record as vice president. She joins us now.
By the way, she called Obama as in fashionable to side with terrorists. So is Obama siding with terrorists? At least thinks so.
Thanks for being here.
Great to be here.
Is it appropriate for your father to be so out in front right now, so soon after leaving office?
He's just defending his legacy.
President of the United States?
Well, he's not mocking the sitting president, but I think that
he's pandering to Europe.
Yeah, Obama is actually pandering to Europe.
I think that there's sort of a level of political nicety that's important to observe, except in certain circumstances. And one of those circumstances is where the national security of the nation is at risk, as my father feels strongly that it is. I don't think he plans to be doing this, when they left office in January.
Said that we're not going to use these techniques.
President Obama was not only
Bush also stopped the techniques. So
policies that he was going to be
was the country at risk from 2005 until 2009?
So that the terrorists could now train to them. That he was suggesting that perhaps we would even be prosecuting former members of the Bush administration.
Okay, that's so ridiculous. Training to be interrogated by a terrorist. That's so stupid. That's stupidest point she's ever said.
Administration. I think my dad began to feel very strongly that somebody needed to speak out.
No, he was defending his legacy.
Of views and not a one-sided mischaracterization of the last 8 years.
These are techniques which have been around. I mean, the Nazis used them.
Good point.
The Khmer Rouge used them. The North Koreans used them. So it's not as if terrorists were unfamiliar with these techniques if they wanted to train for them. And I'm not sure you really can train for torture.
Well, I think first of all,
enhanced interrogation.
Yeah, I mean, I would question the premise there. I think that you've got to look at the legal memos actually, which now you can do. The legal memos are very clear, and this was a very carefully designed program, and it was a program that the CIA designed, that they had the lawyers look at to make sure that the line, the divided sort of rough treatment from torture wouldn't be crossed. But the important point here, though, there's a big difference between a terrorist
allowing
Googling techniques that might be used, and a terrorist who can now pull up these memos and actually see, okay, well, they're going to be able to do this, to me for this many minutes, but I know they won't cross that line. What the president has done is ensure that no future president can use any of these techniques. So that's a big...
Okay, if you have to, what about or torture somebody 83 times? I'm sure that guy, and if that's the only guy you're going to use it on, hardcore terrorists, first of all, why do you have to do it 83 times if it's that effective? 83, that's silly. Second of all, if you're going to only use it on hardcore terrorists, they are going to train for everything.
Big step, and that's a step that I think really does endanger the country. And frankly, if the president himself in the future is faced with a ticking time bomb scenario, it's not clear to me, what exactly he will
He still do not break the
even though
law
he's reserved to
because
himself
it's a
the right
taking
to
time
take
bomb.
action like these.
Is it appropriate, though, for your father, who has had access to high-level intelligence for 8 years, to be very publicly waving a flag saying we're much weaker now than ever before? Isn't that, in fact, emboldening our enemies? Couldn't you make that argument?
I think that it is a moral obligation to stand up
Democracy,
and say,
that's what I
You can write letters,
understand.
you can have meetings with the president, he could have a meeting with the president and say very firmly,
It's
this is what I
democracy,
believe, and the
Anderson.
president will either listen
You
to
can
him or
say
not, but
anything
to
you
stand
want.
publicly
It's not just a citizen
if
president,
a Democrat was doing
vice
this in a Republican
president.
administration, wouldn't the Republicans be saying he's a traitor?
Traitors and patriotic people,
And
that's
I don't
what they would
think
be
that our
saying.
political system was designed so that when a party takes power, immediately
Yeah,
the
she's
opponents
correct.
are silenced.
That's
I don't
right.
think that's healthy for the political system. I think that may in fact have been what the Obama administration was anticipating or
Definitely
was hoping
thinking,
for, that they could
don't
tell
give
the
them a
American
pass,
people,
please.
trust us,
But
we
make
know
sense
what's
whenever you
best.
talk.
And these tactics didn't work. But I think that in fact what's happened is my dad has stood up and said, wait a minute, if you're going to be the transparency president and if you're going to libel the brave men and women who conducted this program.
Okay, transparency. Cheney transparency? That's so weird, to say the least. Cheney, stop that transparency bullshit.
And if you're going to release information that helps the terrorists, at least you ought to release the information that tells the American people what we learned from this program.
Your father said today, and you've said it in the past, and your father repeated it today, he said a lot, that basically what happened in Abu Ghraib was an isolated incident. He termed them sadistic prison guards. Isn't that goes against the evidence? That basically there was a line between what happened in Guantanamo Bay and what happened in Bagram Air Base and what happened later on in Abu Ghraib?
No, I think that's just absolutely wrong, Anderson. I mean, I think, first of all, the enhanced interrogation program, which the president has now stopped, was a program that was run by the Central Intelligence Agency, designed by the CIA, approved by everybody in the administration.
You're saying there's no
Not
connection
the
between all
FBI.
these?
The
No,
FBI
that's-
suggested
that's-
otherwise. There
no,
was
there's-
just a
that's-
meeting
that's-
going
that's-
on.
For you
It's
to
not
assert,
me, it's what the Schlesinger report, which was an independent report by a
but the
Republican.
Schlesinger report did not say that Abu Ghraib was U.S. policy.
Well, no, the
And
Schlesinger
Abu
report
Ghraib-
said, and I have it right here, it says, although specifically limited by the Secretary of Defense to Guantanamo and requiring his personal approval, given in only 2 cases, the augmented interrogation techniques for Guantanamo migrated to Afghanistan and Iraq, where they were neither limited nor safeguarded.
Okay, but that's not talking about Abu Ghraib. And what we've seen at Abu Ghraib.
Okay, now, time has run out. Let me just, you guys put your comments down there, but think about this. Liz Cheney is defending, and Dick Cheney are defending torture, actually. And that the guys who actually said Iraq has WMDs, which it did not have. So if people lied to you once, like Bush said, lied to me once, shame on me. Shame on you. Lied to me twice, shame on me. If you've been fooled, you can be fooled again. So why would you listen to somebody who already lied to you? Put your comments down there.